Hi guys. Hello everybody. Hi. Hi. Hi.
Hi,
How are
ma'am.
you?
Good, good. How are you?
I am so damn excited. I know this is live, but I'm so damn excited to see you.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen you. Like
Yeah.
2 years or so. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Am I
Uh,
audible to you?
yeah, you are audible. Am I audible?
Yeah, perfectly fine. Yeah.
Cool.
So, hi Vamshi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing good as well. Yeah. So, for all the audiences who have joined in, welcome on board. This is Ankita here from Education Street, and Vamshi. He's a student of ours who've been to UMBC, and he's finished his master's in information system, I guess 2021, this year itself,
Yeah,
right?
this year in
Yeah,
May, right?
absolutely. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. So there's so much to talk. So I think we should get started with that. Okay. So Vamshi, firstly, tell me how your experience so far has been at your university and US.
Yeah, my experience was super cool. It was exciting. My journey of masters began in 2019. I was first skeptical about leaving my job and going to US to pursue my masters. But yeah, from the guidance you gave and from the research I've done, um, I kind of liked the study here, and after the study, I got a job and I was successful. So it was fruitful, all of that, the plan which we have done like 2 years ago. It was a roller coaster ride, I would say. Um, yeah, so the college that I selected was has like a state-of-art facilities and like finest faculty, just like I expected. It was a viable option for me. So I went to masters in like 2019 for the fall semester intake. Um, right from the day one, the college welcomed warmly. Like when we landed at the airport, there was like international student services coming to the airport and picking us up and taking us to our accommodations and showing us everything, taking campus tours and stuff like that. Yeah, so first semester and second semester went really smooth, and after
Then
that,
came the COVID.
yeah, after that, the COVID started, so we had to go online. It was a bit difficult to manage the coursework and job offline, but we somehow got used to it now. And now we feel that remote is more better than going to college. Yeah, but yeah, we missed college the last 2 semesters, and we wished the last semester would be in person, but it did not happen. Even I graduated this year in May, but we still did not have a grad work because of the COVID. After masters, yeah, I started my full-time job. I'm now an SD at Amazon. Been like
Wow.
2 months now, and still working remotely. Did not go to office yet.
Wow. So, Vamshi, I was very excited to talk with you because your passing year is such a, trivial year because, everybody, whoever is looking forward to go ahead or, the next year or later than that or whatever, it's
Mhm.
always, stories like you always keep the faith alive in students because they really want to go. And like you were in the peak of COVID when your semester, everything changed in those semesters, right? Like you all are
Yeah.
the, what do you say, like henceforth or whatever. I hope we are behind all this. I hope there's nothing further coming to us in this way. But even if this happens, you'll still be in the first lot of people, who gone through this transition phase and still, now you have a job with Amazon and you're working, you've started working around and stuff. So I think your story keeps the faith alive that we are going to survive whatever may come forward to us.
Sorry, there
Hello.
was a glitch. Uh, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So what I was saying
Sorry.
was ki you keep the faith alive, and that's exactly what stories do. The beauty of stories is this, and hence we wanted to have a talk with you because this is
Yeah.
exactly what students need to know. So how let's talk about struggle, because everybody talks about the good part. Let's talk about the struggle that you went through, and how did you overcome it. That's exactly what I feel gives a very touching or motivation, I would say. So what would you say about that?
Yeah, so initially I used to have this imposter syndrome. Like I used to doubt my own accomplishments or talents. I used to think I was not performing well, though I was performing well. I used to get overwhelmed in the start. It's like huge competition for jobs when you apply, and I used to get a lot of rejections every day. The moment I apply for a job, I used to get a rejection. So, but yeah, they were like good support systems that I had, like you and the faculty that I had, the family and friends. They always kind of motivated me in my journey, and they play like a key role for me. Yeah, I used to take breaks even if I'm like down, or if there is something that I still don't want to work or something. I used to take breaks, just take care of myself, give some personal time, and then come back and then start applying again and go for the interviews. Yeah, yeah, I could get jobs before I graduated. I got like two full times, and I was able to choose one, which was Amazon, and I feel happy about that about my
Wow.
choice.
So basically, again, one more thing that you give away to the students of future who are looking forward to go in, that at the end, it's you who can face the challenge, and you need to be stronger. And
Yeah,
whatever works for you, maybe taking a break, or however well you can handle the stress, that's the mechanism which supports you the best out there, right?
yeah,
Whatever
sure.
could be the external environment out,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
it's us again who faces this. Yeah, people say a lot of things, but once you experience it, that is when you know what it is like. Though we see a lot of things in the news channels and from the articles, it's different story all the time. But yeah, after COVID, the market has become like stable again. There are like a lot of job opportunities that are coming up, and yeah, it's a good time for new students to come here and pursue their masters and achieve their American dreams.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you think is there any worry to be worried about, like suppose health wise, the support of health that you get it as a student over there, or suppose in case students or parents normally worry that what if we get COVID there, or how things go smoother out there. What is the support that you have health wise?
Yeah, the healthcare system is like very crisp, and it's like very organized here. So from the college side, we got lot of help. Our batch students, most of them like got COVID. Like in the community, in
Oh,
the Indian community, there were like 40 to 50 students who got COVID. Yeah, the college supported us very well. I was not one of them, but the college supported students very well with groceries or whatever. Everything was closed, the markets were closed, but yeah, the professors were so good. They are so kind. They used to come in their cars and deliver groceries and medicines, whatever is required.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
people were so helpful. And once they got recovered, they started helping other people. So yeah,
Wow. So
that was
basically,
a
there's a good healthcare and there's also
yeah,
good support system in America that you typically develop in your network, right?
yes, yes, right.
Okay. So as a student, Vamshi, and how did you support yourself with any part-time jobs, or were they easy to get, or were they difficult to get, or how is it part-time jobs become a hindrance to your education, or you can balance it well both enough?
Yeah, during my first two semesters, I worked part-time, which was on campus. I used to work at the event center, where I used to be in the operations, supporting the basketball games, soccer games, and all the concerts. It was cool. It was the highly paid job in college. They used to pay like $22 per hour, which was really cool. I used to accommodate all my living expenses without support from my family. Yeah, it's a good source of income, and some jobs also give you a good exposure on how the real life is. It should be like once in a life experience that you have to. The downside of the job would be that it would take up some time, and it would add some extra responsibilities. But most of the students balance work and study, so it won't be much hassle to balance work and on-campus jobs. yeah, most of them will have struggles managing their finances. So it's good to work on campus, even if you don't have issues with your finance, you still have to work on campus because it helps you network and it helps to interact you with people from different cultures and regions.
A very good point made, which even I agree, and I also tell students who go from education state that you need the money or not is secondary. But I think studying abroad and particularly studying in US, working part time and studying is like a blended thing. You know, it's something which grows you more better. It gives you a better understanding about US as a culture as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Since I worked for 2 semesters on campus, and after that, I went in the fall intake, so I completed my second semester in the spring again. During the summer, I was able to. That is when the COVID started, so I was able to get an internship over the summer. Yeah, so it was from May to June, and that internship got extended for my third semester. And I did not had time to work on campus. Internship was more than enough for me. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, so after that, that internship converted into a co-op where I used to work 40 hours in my last semester. And they give credits for doing an internship or co-op. So you can skip a course or a class, and instead, internship will replace that.
Wow, so that's such a unique thing which you have mentioned. So is it like you apply for some CPT or something for this, or is it like
Yeah.
yeah, you applied for a
Yeah.
CPT?
Yeah, so starting before you start work, you need to have your CPT authorization from the government. So you apply through your college website, and they're gonna publish a new I-20 in the portal, which is what you give to the employer, and then you get your I-9, and then you can start working.
Oh, that's really nice. I mean, this is something which is very unique what you shared, because I think students can look out. What do you think? What were the things worked out for you to get a a part-time job or an internship? Like, how do you think? What would be the support, or what should the students do wherever, whichever university they are in?
Yeah, so networking would be the key if you want to do well with on-campus or assistantships. So if you're looking for assistantships, you should mainly meet with the professors from the start, and mainly your graduate program director. He would be having authority of all the roles. So aim for assistantship right from the first semester. Talk to your seniors. I would say the second thing, take every feedback you can from them on the roles that are available and the responsibilities that the roles hold. For the on-campus, it shouldn't be much difficult, but you just have to walk into different. If there is different services in the college, so there is dining service, there is event services, there is library where you can work. There are a lot of there is parking and there's jobs everywhere. So all you have to do is go talk to the manager of that service, tell them that you are a student and you're looking for a job to support yourself, and they'll let you know if there is a job, and then it's easy to hire. You don't have to go to a lot of process, so it's easy to hire.
Wow, you really making it sound very motivating, I would say.
Yeah,
Because these are the pain points of most of the international students. Because as Indians, I think we're very sensitive toward the cost, and it's huge for us. Yeah, right. Let's
yeah,
agree that it's a huge cost for Indian students who come in. For their living and their tuition fees and stuff, and such support, if available, that really makes it more reasonable to think over and go to US,
yeah,
right?
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah. So now coming to the education system, like as it is very different from India, they have credit systems, credit points, and all of those things. Do you think by any way was it a struggle earlier, or was it very smooth, or like the assignments, the plagiarism, all of this, like the credit points, was it little difficult or was it very easier?
um, it isn't that difficult when compared to the Indian education system. The only thing differs is the credit system. So you get a lot of flexibility than compared to our education. So you get to choose your own subjects. You don't have a defined curriculum that you have to pick. There's no mandatory course. Yeah, there are courses which are called core courses that you have to mandatorily take, but for example, if you have 30 credits, you just finish off your core courses and you can take electives from any other branch. So suppose you are in computer science, you can take courses from data science or information systems. So it's based on your interests and based on what you want to learn and what skills you want to upgrade and climb the ladder.
Okay. So as you had taken MIS and you got on that, so how was the curriculum? Is it like there are always certain people who who think that MIS should be done after some work experience or a fresher can do it? Do you think what would your viewpoint be about MIS?
I personally had experience like 3 years before I started masters. That really mattered because for internships, they kind of are choosy when they select candidates. They prefer if there are students who have a little bit of exposure on how the software development works, the tools and the stack, uh, rather than just the academic knowledge. They need some industry exposure. So for internships, I would say experience would matter a lot. If the students are working in India and coming here, it would surely count. But nevertheless, even if they don't have experience, if they have like good personal projects on their resume, uh, interviewers will be impressed, and yeah, they can get an internship easily.
So normally, Vamshi, there are almost like I would say, uh, I may be wrong, but typically from my experience, I feel there are good number of students mainly who go without work experience to US to do their masters, right? After their
Yes.
bachelor's immediately. So
Yeah.
do you think they have any concerns like they get lesser part-time jobs or they don't get assistantships or internships or full-time jobs? Do you think that's a reality?
No, that's not a reality. That's just a myth, I would say, because I had friends who were like recent graduates coming in for masters, and they got an internship before me, and I got it after like 1 month or so during the summer. So I would not say experience would matter the most, but it would be like an add-on, or it would be
Yeah,
like a
right, right.
certification on your
Right.
resume.
Like, so if
That's
you
it.
have it, great. It's like a
Great.
bonus point. But if
Yeah.
you don't have it, it's still not like it's going to be a struggle out there. It all then depends on your performance and how you crack your
Yeah.
this thing, right? Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yes, so the candidate should, they look for the subject matter knowledge or the tools knowledge or stack knowledge, and then they go for the experience. But they should be having the knowledge of the subject and whatever role they're applying for.
Yeah, right. So apart from MIS, as you have done MIS, but I'm sure in your network of students and everything, what do you think is like really a high point in US? What other courses or what other areas you see that there are, like you said, there are a lot of job opening up and things have become stable. So what do you think are the most, you know, I won't term the word popular, but which has an what do you say? Attraction towards or employment towards.
Um, yeah, there are a lot of jobs for data science field, like data engineers and data related jobs. There are like a lot of internships that are available than the software development, I would say, equally. Uh, So yeah, I had a lot of friends in the data science majors who almost got internships in the data engineers and data architect fields. So yeah, I would suggest if I would have to suggest students for taking a major, and if they want to play with data and do something with data, I would say they should go for data science. The curriculum would have mostly project related and not exam based. So they'll have uh, industry equivalent projects coming up from the professors for assignments. And yeah, it's a nice curriculum. I would suggest students coming in. Data science and also engineering management, if someone wants to go become a project manager or something related to management. So
Hmm.
EM is also good.
Wow. Yeah. So I think MEM, MIS, Masters in Data Science, even Business Analytics.
Yeah, BA is also good. Yeah, there are some colleges which have like good curriculum for business analytics. Uh, I'm not aware of business analytics at my college,
Yeah.
but there should be a lot of good colleges about business analytics.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And how is Maryland as a state and as a place to be, and how do you think, how has that been a good, was it a good experience to be there?
Yeah, it was a really good experience. There are different factors due to which I say this. One thing is the living expenses. It's not that costly for students, particularly,
Very
and
important,
yeah,
yeah.
very important for students that are coming in. And there are like good places that you can visit around Maryland, and uh, there is a lot of places nearby you can visit. Like New York would be like just a couple of hours drive if you want to go
Oh,
over the weekend and you can come back. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Since it's called DMV, uh, Washington DC, Maryland, and Virginia. These are all located nearby, and there's everything accessible in the areas. It's not that it is like a village or something. It's all developed, and you have a good
yeah,
transport
that's
system.
something which students think, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to have a car to go around. You have a good transport system. Yeah, you have metros that you can travel to Virginia and DC. Even if you're traveling to work, you don't have to have a car. If you are staying nearby a metro station, then that should be good. You'll have like metro trains coming in for every 1 minute.
Wow, okay. And in fact, I would say a lot of states don't have this service this well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because some of the states you definitely need a car. I mean, you can't be without a car in some states of US.
yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that's a good information. Yeah. Now, of course, coming to the last leg, because we don't want to take you too time pressed on your weekend, which is like the only day which normally students out there have some time for them. So let me bring you to the very important pain point that all Indian students have, and that's getting their full-time job. We all know that that's something which we desire to. Okay, we need the money or not is a second point, or
Mhm.
salary or whatever. But yes, typically, what would you suggest students, that how is the job system there, what does the employer look at, what are the typical job salary range? Because return on investment, typically, what do you think, the amount that you invest, because that's what looks like the biggest pain point. Typically, how many years does it take for a student to return it back?
Yeah, so first thing, I would talk about the application and then I will talk about the benefits that the job gives us. So students should start applying for jobs not post masters, but they should start applying jobs right from third year. Big companies like Amazon,
Third
Microsoft, and
semester.
yeah, third semester. They should start applying very early. So, for example, if Microsoft is opening some roles, it would be for next year, but the roles would be open this October or September. So, students should be on the lookout for the openings from big companies like this. Even startups hire very early. And for me, for example, I applied in October and I could get into the process of interview and finish and get an offer letter in April. So it takes time. There are a lot of students that are applying, and it is a lot of competition. So the process goes slow. So if I talk about paying back what we have loaned back in India, if you get the pay scale depends on the state where you are. So a decent pay would be like more than 100K to 150K for a starting graduate student. And yeah, some companies like Amazon gives you like a joining bonus of like $30,000 or something, with which you can pay off your education loan at single shot, and you still have some money saved.
Wow.
And 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 also there is a new this thing coming up in some companies where they are paying for tuition fees when you're interning with them, so they completely pay off your tuition fees.
I
So
think
yeah,
Amazon
Amazon
is
does
one
that.
of them, because I
Yeah,
read about that. Yeah.
yeah, it's only for students who are interning with them, so they pay off their this thing tuition fees. And to also get students will also look out for in-state tuition fees, like if they get a grader or a teaching assistant or a research assistant jobs, they get an in-state tuition fee which is quite less when compared to the international student fee. And also they get a free insurance and also like a stipend of
I
$2,000 or
didn't get
thousand
this.
dollars.
How do you get that in state if you
Yeah,
perform well?
no, it's like if you get an assistantship, you automatically get institution fee. Your
Oh,
I-20 changes
okay.
and you get an institution fee and you get a free insurance. In my college, it's like you get a free insurance in state, and then you get a stipend every month. So you don't even have
Wow.
to do on-campus jobs.
Okay, okay, okay. So that covers a lot of costs even
Yeah.
before you start working.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, okay. So yeah. So I think you gave us a big heads up on the return on investment. So typically, you're saying if you're doing well, if you perform well, if you're hardworking, you can probably remove your cost, a lot of cost while studying, and also eventually while you work out, like you start working full time, you
Yeah.
may be getting it in a 2 years or maximum 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah. I mean, for example, if you take 25 lakhs, if someone is taking 25 lakhs, yeah, it would it if you get into a average company, even then you can take off your loans by 2 years, I would say.
Awesome, awesome. And what is the process like once you finish your masters to apply for OPT? Is it like 90 days, like which is very pressing for students to
Yeah.
play by? So is there any loopholes or is there any extension?
Yeah, so during COVID, it went like more than 90 days, and students were waiting for their OPTs, and most of some people even lost their jobs in worst cases because the employer was not ready to wait. But now it has fastened. Everything has become online now, so it's easier, and the responses are coming up in less than 90 days. You can see OPTs coming in 60 days. But yeah, it has become better than how it was earlier. The system, earlier we had to fill the forms and attach every document and um, mail it to an address, and they would review it and they would update it back and send you the OPT card. Now everything has become online, so it's very quicker now.
No, but I was also asking that
Okay.
is that there is a gap that only in 90 days if after you finish your
Oh, okay.
masters you need to have a job or else you
Yes.
have to leave the country?
Yeah, so that is what I'm saying. So, for example, you have an OPT start date of June or something. So from then to the end of 90 days, you should be having a job, you should be having an offer, and you should be updating the SCVP portal with the employer that you are working with. Yeah, that's right. That if you don't have a offer within 90 days, you will be asked to go off the country. But it's never the case that a student would not get a job. There are a lot of loopholes that we can take advantage of, and yeah, it's easy to get a job for a master student here, I would say.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So thank you. I think Vamshi, you have given us. I mean, you have in all fronts you have proven to be a achiever, and you have been successful to go to a good university. You've gone good part-time job, internship. You have also got a good job with Amazon. I mean, and you are saying that you've always had some syndrome, imposter syndrome. And you were thinking that you're not an achiever. Are you blind to yourself?
No, I'm not.
How is that?
It just happens if you have like a lot of things to manage at the same time. Multitasking, if you do that, it usually happens. So it's
Right.
part
So,
and parcel of
Vamsi,
the
what
process.
would be your what would be the real tips you want to give to your students or the future students? Like what do you think they should be up with or guarded with or get their game stronger?
Yeah, don't be shy. Talk to your classmates. Don't feel shy that there's an it's an he's an he or she is an international student. Sometimes your classmates might help you in assignments where you're blocked at. Yeah, go out, talk to people. Yeah, and take breaks. Don't forget to take breaks. Don't sit on things continuously and spoil your health. Take care of yourself. But you have to prioritize your task if you're doing multiple things, or else you might miss some things and you might lose your grades. Yeah,
Wow.
that's it, I
So
guess.
thank you so much, Vamshi. Seriously, what an achiever, I would say. And I really hope that you never, never, ever feel otherwise because there's no reality to it.
Yeah.
There's no reality to your thinking. So probably you just need to, I hope you have got rid of those things
Yeah, long
around.
back. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
of course, of course, of course. So absolutely a delight and a pleasure that we had this conversation today, Vamshi, because you don't know how many people are going to benefit out of this, because these videos would go across, and of course this is going to give a huge impetus and motivation to students who are looking forward to study in US, because the real stories are from the real heroes like you guys, right? So that's exactly what we wanted to do. And giving us this time on a Sunday, that is something which means a lot and shows your interest towards helping others. So thank you so much, Vamshi. Thank you so much. And Education State is really grateful for this time of yours.
thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. All right. See ya. Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye.